जय जिनेन्द्र सर जी।
हेलो, जय जिनेन्द्र।
जय जिनेन्द्र सर।
जय जिनेन्द्र।
जय जिनेन्द्र सर।
जय जिनेन्द्र। Let's start मंगलाचरण। मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान, नमो ताहि जाते भय अरिहंतादिमान। करि मंगल करि हो महा, ग्रंथ करन को काज। जाते मिले समाज सब, पावे निज पद राज। Okay, so today we are going to discuss on Moksha Marg Prakashan, written by Acharya Kalp Pandit Toraman. Since last classes of Moksha Prakashan, we have discussed so far अरिहंतों का स्वरूप, सिद्धों का स्वरूप, and right now we are on Acharya Upadhyay and Sadhu का सामान्य. As I have already told you that why it is necessary to know about Panch Parameshti. It is very commonly concept or observation in a life that we accept the matters which is revealed by the authentic person. So if there is no authenticity of that person, we will not believe on that. That person in worldly life may be wrong. It means uh, we think that he's authentic and he may not be authentic due to some lack of knowledge or by mistake of our observation. But here, though, we are discussing about the moksha marg, and we are trying to follow those person who have already achieved the salvation. Here, it is necessary. Here, it is mandatory to know about those who has got salvation and to know about those as well who are trying to get that. So, only five Parmeshtis are adorable: Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu. So we are on general characteristics of Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu. Page number 5.
Okay, I had a question there.
Yeah, please.
Uh, Normally, you take all the gurus together like Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu. Is there any reason to take them like separately here?
Yeah, there is a reason to describe separately. Todavalji was very intelligent and he had full of, he has lots of intelligence and he was a good teacher as well. Todavalji knew that if a general characteristics of Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu, I tell you only, then there may be that importance of Acharya, importance of Upadhyaya cannot be clearly told. So, in one chapter or in one paragraph, Todamalji wrote about Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu in common sense, commonly. And second, separately, Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu is telling because you must be aware about why Acharya is so important, why he is appointed as a special title. Who is Upadhyaya? Why he is so special in Sangha? So two titles are important in Sangha, Acharya and Upadhyaya. Because Upadhyaya is a knowledgeable person. He is a teacher of Sangha. Acharya who controls the activity, who controls whole Sangha. So Acharya and Sadhu, commonly all sadhus which are called sadhu. One reason, a second reason is there on the basis of this common characteristics. Pandit Todomalji is trying to say that all are Muni. You cannot just consider Acharya is more adorable, Upadhyaya is more adorable, and Sadhu is not. But Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu, three three are Sadhu, and you must consider or you must pay respect in one sense. So that is only the reason that Todumalji has written separately and as well as common. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Please.
Now, it is page number 5, and we were on Digambar posture has become free from the second body, like the forest cave. यहाँ से पढ़ते हैं. And due to absence the rise of intense patience. Rohanji, please read it out. And due to the absence of rise of intense patience. It is and due to how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sixth line, middle of the sixth line, and due to the absence of rise. Okay, Ronji is there.
Start reading. I don't know.
Okay, please, you can start.
And due to the absence of rise of intense passions, there exists no upyog in auspicious thought activity of indulging in violence and having attained such an internal state of self. He has accepted the Digambar posture, totally possessionless, naked state of quietude and serenity, has become free from the from the arts of acts of decorating the body, lives in forests, caves, etc., follows unbreachedly 28 mulguns, basic rites, endures 22 types of parishras, afflictions, and adores 12 kinds of taps, penances. Sometimes become motionless like an idol by holding the meditation posture. Sometimes engages himself in external pious activities such as study of scriptures, etc. Sometimes attentively engages oneself in food taking and making movement, etc., which activities are fit for him for the sake of maintaining the body, being the associating cause of Munidharma, monk's religion. Such is the state of a Jain monk and applies to all Jain monks.
Okay, so here, and due to the absence of the rise of intense patience, there exists no Ashubha in auspicious thoughts activity. As you know, there are three kinds of upyog: Shubh, Ashubh, and Shuddha. We are having two upyog, Shubh and Ashubh. Muni is having two upyog, Shuddha and Shubh. So he's uh, and due to the absence of rise of the intense patience, there exists no Ashubha in auspicious thoughts activity of indulging in violence, etc., and having attained such as internal state of self. So he is not indulging in any Ashubha upyog. He is having only two upyog, Shubh and Shuddh. Shuddh, it means at the time of self-realization, when he realizes his soul, it is called Shuddha upyog. And when he is preaching, when he is just writing any book, when he just giving diksha to others, uh, this is called Shubhopyog. So Muni cannot sustain for a long time in Shuddhopyog. So that's why he uses this Shubhopyog as a ladder to reach the Shuddhopyog. And indulging in violence, etc., and having attained such internal state of self, he has accepted Digambar posture, totally patientless, naked state. He is having total Digambar posture. Digambar posture means internally and externally, he is having nothing. Mithyatva, Hasrati, etc., internally Kashai, and property, money, family, clothes, etc., external parigraha. So Munis, this Digambar Muni is free from all external and internal parigraha. He is completely free from all these things, totally patientless, naked state, is quietude and serenity has become free from the acts of the decorating the body. Though he is not having any rag inside his soul, he is free from all this rag and waste. Because when he was in domestic life, thereon he was having intense udasinta towards the world. He was having thoughts of moksha marg. That's why he was not so much of interested. He did not involve in the activities which were just going around him. Activities, maybe family activities, maybe kingdom activities. So, uh, external way we can see that he is involved, but internally he was not involved that time. That
So
that is the
Saurabh,
reason. Yeah,
sorry, I have a question here. So when
yeah,
you
please.
say Shuddha Upyog or Shubh Upyog, in that way only the Punya Bandh happened. There is nothing. So for Muni or Sadhu, there is no Pap Bandh which is happening at during that time.
Yeah, right.
I mean, and that is always constantly. It's only Punya Bandh.
Yeah, right.
So, so my following question is like, we see like every cycle, like in 48 minutes or whatever time cycle, there is Punya and Pap coming up all one after the other. So for sadhus, like also when they get Pap, when they are into that cycle of Pap, is it more because of the, I mean, the Pap karma actually comes into the Uday. So it is because of the older karms which they have done. That is the reason it comes through.
It is a rule that within 48 minutes, your upyog will be changed. If you
Right.
are in Shubh, you will automatically will be in Ashubh. If you are in Ashubh, you will automatically will be Shubh. But it is not rule that people can have Shubh and Ashubh changing machine, changing term. It can be Shuddh and Shubh. So we can consider most of the time he is in Shubhopyog, but after 48 minutes, he can change his Upyog by realizing his soul. It is Shuddh Upyog. So of course he cannot remain for long in Shuddh Upyog, even in Shubh Upyog. So Upyog is changing there, but it is from Shuddh to Shubh, Shubh to Shuddh.
But suddenly, how come it? So basically, they are coming from the past lives and past births, and suddenly when they just enter into, so most of the people enter into the sadhu life like later in their age, like 40s, 50s also. So whatever papan which they have done, all those come does not come through like when they are into. I mean, as soon as they turn into sadhu, how come it is like only shuddha and shubh? Why it is not ashubh karma is not coming up like that? That is not in their cycle. And just out of
Okay.
curiosity, I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good question. There are some nimitt of pap. For example, we are earning. For example, we are in office, we are in business, we are in family, and we are very much of attached with our body. So, what the sins or ashubhopyog, what we are doing in our just present life, that is only because we are having attachment with something, and an aversion with something. There are we consider some of them are friend and some of them as foe or enemy. So it generates rag and dresh. But that vitragata means, what is the vitragata mean? Vitragata means he's free from all this attachment and aversion. He's not indulged. He's not indulging and involving in all these things. So root cause of ashopyog is attachment and aversion. But he's not even attached with his body. So अगर कारण नहीं है तो कार्य भी कैसे होगा? तो पाप उपयोग का कारण ही नहीं है तो फिर उसका कार्य कैसे होगा?
So,
I would
so
like to
basically,
say something. Sir, I would like to say something here.
Yeah, please.
I think there seems to be confusion between Ashubh Upyog and Ashubh Uday. What he's asking is they must be having Ashubh Uday, although they have become monks. They are not indulging in any inauspicious activity. That is Ashubh Upyog once they have become monks. But Ashubh Uday will be there, what they have collected from their past lives. So that Uday will always come, Ashubh Uday.
Right.
I
Ashubhodaya will be there.
think that's what he was asking.
yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay, you are asking that Ashubhodaya is there. No, Ashubhodaya and Ashubhyog both are different things. Ashubhodaya, it means the money what you have collected and deposited in your bank, but you are not earning that money, which can be just cause in your harmness, or which can just give you bad results. So Muni is not earning ashubh karmas, but he already collected in previous life or in previous years. But definitely that may come in Uday. Like just here, Bavis Parisha. So Bavis Parisha is a result of Pap Uday. We have many examples from our Prathamanyo Granth. Muni attacked by Bhil. Muni just burned by someone. Muni just kicked into river. So this is the Uday of, this is Ashubh Uday. So Ashubh Uday and Ashubh Upyog both are different things.
Okay.
So indulging in
Bharatji, in
violence,
simple
yeah, uh-huh.
in simple words, can we say being samyak drashti, having the right belief, they will never be having ashubh upyog. Is that easy way to say it?
Yeah. It is not forcefully processed that Muni, how just they control their man, how just they control their mind that any Ashopyog may not come in his soul. It is a spontaneous overflow. Spontaneous overflow, it is natural. Natural, it means he is having so peace of life, peace of mind with Vitrakta. Though he's just enjoying Vitrakta, so it is the nature of Vitrakta that he is free from attachment and everything. So it is spontaneous overflow in which sometime he feels, sometime he goes to Shubhopyog, sometime he goes to Shuddhopyog. But the material is not available of Ashopyog. There is no material of Ashopyog. Then how is it possible that he will just indulge in Ashopyog? Even usually in previous, when I was just started to read Jain Dharma, then I used to thought that how is it possible? How is it possible that Muni is not having Ashopyog? Then later on, when I studied Granthas, the reason when it came to know there is no material of Ashopyog. That's why he is free from this Ashopyog. You know what
And
is the problem? Mhm.
ashubh uday also comes to tirthankars. It's the same way, right?
Ashobodaya doesn't know. Ashobodaya doesn't know the person, whether he is Saurav, whether he is Kunjan, or whether he is Tirthankar or Kamdev or Chakravarti.
Right.
I just uploaded a video of Mana Sundari. Uh, I think you have just watched that video. So there is it was the story of Mana Sundari. She was Samyadasti, and her husband Shripal. He was also Samyadasti, and not only Samyadasti, but he was Charam Sariri. Charam Sariri, it means it has fixed by his birth that it is his last birth. Last birth, it means in this birth he will just got salvation. But Ashubhuday, he faced intense papuday in terms of leprosy, severe leprosy. So Ashubhuday may take position in anyone of life because it is Ajeev. It doesn't recognize any one personality. Oh, you are Tithankar, I will not come to you. Oh, you are Kamdev, I will not come to you. Ashubhuday, Ashubh Parmanu, they don't know about the personality, the title. They say that you have collected us, definitely we will go some fruit to you. And that those fruits will be bitter. Indeed, those fruits will be bitter. It is upon you whether you eat them or not. So these Mahan Purus like Kamadev, Chakravarti, these are Sammadasti. Though they have the fruit of Ashubhodaya, but they don't eat uh, because they are having Vairagya, they are having a Chintwan of Tattva. That's why they don't eat. But we are a common and ordinary person. So we get disturbed by these Ashubhodaya. And that Ashubhodaya gives us some fruits. We don't think so seriously and we eat that. As you eat, uh, more and more fruits or more and more Ashubhodaya collected with your soul. So one is free from this Ashubhodaya. One thing, what I just I've been observing in my life, we are guests, we are having domestic life. So at every step, we are facing uh, rag and dvesh. At every moment of life, in every moment of life, we are facing uh, rag and dvesh. So day and night we are in Ashubha Parinam. Now we are not ready to. It is the subject matter of out of our imagination that there may be any person who can be free from all these things. A person who is earning 1,000 rupees per day, no, not 1,000, 200 rupees per day. Okay, a person who is earning 200 rupees per day. If you say him, you are having good quality, you can do this work in very well manner. What I have seen others. Now, if you commercialize your art into a vast level or in just a proper manner, then you can earn 2 lakh rupees per day. But that person is not ready to listen, or that not ready to accept that thing that you can earn 2 lakh rupees per day. Likewise, we are also in state of Ashubha. We are with Rag and Dvesh. So it's very natural that we are also not ready that Muni can be free from Ashubha Yoga. How is it possible? Because when we earn lots of money, so we get Ghamand, Man. When we lose money, we get Udasinta. When we are having all belongings, we are happy and we think that I'm immortal. I'm having all material which can please me, which can give me peace of mind and pleasure. But suddenly it can go anytime. So we feel that, oh, my life, there's no purpose of my life. There is no material which can give me pleasure. It is our routine, it is our thought. But Muni is not having this kind of thought. That's why he is having no Ashokyu. It is very important. It is very important. Sometime some questions asked in my physical class. One student asked a question regarding Achari Kundukun. He asked me that, sir, Achari Kundukun was a great Muni. Yeah, indeed, he was great Muni, and he wrote 5 Shastras, and you can know greatness of his thought through all Shastras. Then he told me that I am having a house, I am having all means of just a food, listening music. If I got ill, I have a doctor, I have a source of medicine. There are someone, there are many family members who can care me. But how is it possible? Acharya Kundukun was not having anything, no house, no food, no money, no family members, no clothes. Then how it is possible he could stabilize his parinam? It means he was only in Shubha and Shuddha. Then I replied, and I am going to reply to you as well. Vitragata, it is the nature of Vitragata. It doesn't care about family. It doesn't care about clothes. Even it doesn't care about body. It doesn't care about anything except soul. So the nature of Vitrakta is that he's free from all kind of attachment and aversion, and it thinks about soul. So what Acharya Kunkun consider himself, he was only soul. That's why in all Granth, Samayasar, Pravachan, etc., we find there is only one sentence. You are pure soul. You have potential to become God. You are free from all these karmas. You are free from all these things which are having around you. You are free from all these things. So, our Muni, he is free from all Ashubhopyog. That's why he's too much respectable. The thing which seems to be impossible for us, but he's following. And having attained such an internal state of self and has accepted Digambar posture, totally visionless naked state, gratitude, serenity has become free from the acts of decorating the body. It means he is not decorating body because he is Vitragi. Lives in forest. Lives in forest. He is just he wants to live in that atmosphere with which does not disturb her meditation, his realization of soul. Usually he just choose that kind of place like jungle, like khandhar, like abandoned house. Uh, these kind of places usually he used to sit at this place. We cannot say that he considers as his home, but he usually seeks these kind of places which are in favor of self-realization. So he lives in forest, keeps follow unbreachly 28 Mulgun. We have already read 28 Mulgun in Chennala. If you like to know, there is also video uploaded on Keval Gyan TV. 28 Mulgun of Muni. So in 10 minutes, you can know from there. And there's 22 types of Parishah, Chuda, Trisa, etc. Dans Masak, these are Parishah he endures. Adored 12 kind of tap, 12 kind of tap, and sometimes become motionless like an idol by holding the meditation posture. We also read in sixth dhal of Chedhala, Upali Khaji Khujavate. So he is so stable, he is like idol in a state of meditation that sometime dear confused और he just उपली खाज खुजावते वो अपनी खाज खुजा लेते हैं उससे engage himself in external pious activities such as study scriptures etc. So he is also involved, engages in external pious activities. It means Shubhop Yog. So Shubhop Yog, it means writing book, delivering speech, giving diksha. This is called Shubhop Yog. Activities such as study of scriptures, etc., sometimes attentively engages oneself in food taking and making movement, etc. So to run his body, he also take food, but there is specific procedure how he just take food and make a movement, etc. Which activities are fit for him for the sake of maintaining the body, being such ecstatic cause of Muni Dharma, monk religion. Such is the state of Jain monk, and this applies to all Jain monks. It is clear in Hindi. There is a very good sentence. कदाचित ध्यान मुद्रा धारण करके प्रतिमावत निश्चल होते हैं, कदाचित अध्ययन आदि बाह्य धर्म क्रियाओं में प्रवर्तित हैं, कदाचित मुनि धर्म के सहकारी शरीर की स्थिति के हेतु योग आहार विहार आदि क्रियाओं में सावधान होते हैं. ऐसे जैन मुनि हैं, उन सबकी ऐसी ही अवस्था होती है. So these are the general characteristics of Jain monks, Acharya Upadhyaya and Sadhu. I hope it has given you more clarification what we knew in past. Now, next, individually, Todamalji is describing here Swarup of Acharya, Swarup of Upadhyaya, and Swarup of Sadhu. Is there any question in common characteristics? You can ask, otherwise we will go ahead. Now we can start characteristics of Acharya. Ritesh ji, would you like to read it? Ritesh ji is there?
Ji, Saroj. Yeah. Among them, so characteristics of Acharya, chief of congregation of monks. Among them, in the group of above monks, he who has become the leader of a congregation of monks by acquiring the chief rank by virtue of the excellence in right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, and who chiefly remains engrossed in Nirvikalp Swarupacharan, unrambling state of pure, passionless conduct of the self. And he has compassionate feeling due to rise of slight, mild attachment, preaches sermons to only those jivas who pray for and are curious for religion. He administers diksha, renunciation vow, to those who want to accept asceticism, and purifies by the process of expiation those who admit their faults. I bow to such an ascetic chief monk, Acharya, who admonishes such kind of spiritual conduct.
Okay. Uh, Acharya. Why he is Acharya? So Todamalji in very good manner he has described the root of Acharya. First of all, a Muni who has just who has been just taken or given by prior Muni a title, a special title, which is called Acharya. We can say that Acharya is like a headmaster principal of any school or dean of any college, any department. In Sangh, there are many Muni. Someone may ask question, if all Muni are so serious, all Muni are Vairagi, all are so knowledgeable because uh, we we cannot consider any Muni is not having no knowledge. Why Acharya is appointed? Without appointment of Acharya, Muni cannot be disciplined in their self. No, discipline in every field is essential matter. Whether it is in office, whether it is in our family, whether it is in Muni self. In our family, though we all are Indian, what we see that head of our family is our father. There's no matter. Father, age of father is 70, 75, or 80. But as per Indian culture, we just we are bound with that relation. That if father says that, Beta, you have to do this thing. The son is also 50 years old, but like a small child, he says that, okay, father, what you said, definitely I will do that. If son doesn't like the proposal given by father, then he can request, oh papa, I think like this, and it will be beneficial for me. I'm just clarifying this matter to you. If you allow me, definitely I will do that what you have said, but listen me carefully what I'm going to tell. And father also listens what is the real matter from his son, and the decision ultimate from the part of father. That's why India is having so good relationship within family. We pay respect to our parents, even mother and even father, even our chacha, even our dada dadi. We are just bound in so beautiful manner in our Indian family because there is one discipline manner. That's why Indians are so uh, just religious. That's why they follow their culture like this. If we talk about Sangha, of course, all Munis are very knowledgeable. They are following 28 Mulgun and they are self-disciplined. But there must be a person, there must be a person who can maintain, who can just give instruction to all Muni, what you have to do, what not. If if some mistake committed by any Muni, mistakes can be committed by anyone because he is a Sansari ji. Like Srut Sagar committed a mistake by arguing with that four mantris. So Shrut Sagar committed a mistake. Then instantly he reported to his Acharya, today I have done this and I think uh, that was not good. And Acharya Akampan instantly told Shrut Sagar, you have committed a big mistake. So Acharya is very serious kind of person, Muni. He's a very serious kind of Muni, having lots of responsibilities on his shoulder. But you know one thing, the prime thing is that he is not only administrator. His first and prime duty is to realize his soul. It means he is not only coach, he is not administrator, but he is Muni first, who realizes his soul every moment, every day, every hour. Among them, in group of our monks, he who has become the leader of congregation of monks by acquiring the chief rank by virtue of the excellence in right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, and who chiefly remains engrossed in Nirvikalp Sarupa Charan. So here Todumalji is saying that who is Acharya? There are words in Hindi. मुख्य रूप से तो निर्विकल्प स्वरूपाचरण में ही मग्न है. मुख्य रूप से तो निर्विकल्प स्वरूपाचरण में ही मग्न है. So his duty is to realize himself, to know his soul. His prime duty is not to instruct munis. So we must just clear this thing, that who is Acharya? मुख्य रूप से तो निर्विकल्प स्वरूपाचरण में ही मग्न है. He is Acharya. But why he is Acharya? Because सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान, सम्यक चारित्र की अधिकता से, excellence of right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, who carefully remains engrossed. He is engrossed in his soul. So why is Acharya? Because he is having samyak darshan, samyak gyan, samyak charitra. Next, and when he has compassionate feeling due to the rise of slight mild attachment, preaches sermon to only those jivas who pray for and are curious for religion. So धर्मी कदाचित धर्म के लोभी अन्य जीवों को याचक देखकर उनको राग के अंश के उदय से करुणा बुद्धि हो तो धर्म उपदेश देते हैं. इट इज इन हिंदी. रागांश के उदय से करुणा बुद्धि हो तो उनको धर्म उपदेश देते हैं. एंड Acharya has not fixed the time that okay, tomorrow you will come and I will give you a speech or just will tell you some good things at 9 o'clock. What are the word here? कदाचित धर्म के लोभी अन्य जीवों को याचक देखकर, it means suddenly the news broke out in city or blaze that a saint is Virajman in nearby jungle. So all merchants, all traders, all people who live there in their place, they just shut their shops and they just reached in jungle. That Muni was in meditation. That Muni was not aware that many people have gathered here, but suddenly he opened his eye and it came to his knowledge, oh, there are many people. They are eagerly waiting that Muni, when Muni just comes out from meditation and we request for telling some good things and just they can deliver pravachan for us. As Muni opened his eyes, one leader or one serpent from that all people, he requested, oh Lord, oh Muni, days and night we are suffering from rag and pain. We have no one who can tell us about how we can just remove our rag and dvesh. We are fortunate to have you here. As we have heard that you are here, Virajman in this jungle, instantly we have reached to you in temptation of that you just deliver some speech, you can just deliver some speech for our benefit. So it's a quite polite statement. And when Muni realized these all people, they are actually willing to listen the Jinvani, then he delivered speech, but there is no specific time. If if the people request, Muni, tomorrow we will come, and what will be the time of your speech? Muni will laugh. Laughed, it means he will clearly tell, we cannot stay at one place. We can be here. Tomorrow we can be here, but we can move at another place. So we cannot promise what time you will come. You can come to listen प्रवचन. So धर्म के लोभी अन्य जीवों को, धर्म के लोभी, it means those person who are also actually they are willing to listen pravachan. They are listening Jinvani. So this is the meaning of dharma ke lobhi. Patientless conduct of the self, and when he is compassionate feeling due to the rise of slight mild attachment. Mild attachment, this is a different attachment what we are having. Okay, we are having worldly attachment, but here it is called prasast rag. Preaches sermons to only those jivas who pray for and are curious for religion. So those people who are very curious to listen it, they preach only for them who are curious to know. He admires and administers diksha. So there is it is a rule, diksha can be taken by any acharya. Without guru, you cannot be muni. You must have guru if you are willing to become muni, except Tirthankar. Okay, Tirthankar has no guru. Except Tirthankar, anyone cannot become saint without guru. It is rule. And acharya, this is the title. When acharya think that this person is of course having capacity or yogyata to become muni, तो यहाँ की उनकी योग्यता देखकर उनको दीक्षा देते हैं. उनकी योग्यता देखकर मतलब याचक और जो दीक्षा ग्राहक है उनको दीक्षा देते हैं. दीक्षा ग्राहक इट मीन्स कि those person to whom acharya realize, to whom acharya observe that this person can be muni. This person is having really vitrakta. This person is really interested to become muni. सबको नहीं देते, वो किसी किसी को देते हैं जिसको वो योग्य जानते हैं. And those who want to accept asceticism and purify by the process of expiation, those who admit their fault. So there are many persons who committed any wrong things in their life. So if that kind of person comes to acharya and he says that, oh Lord, I have done so much of mistakes in my life, I cannot tell you, but some of them are like this. Now I request you to tell me the prayashchit, what I must do prayashchit, so that I will not do all kind of sins or kind of bad things in my future life. तो उनको योग्य जान प्रायश्चित दोषों से शुद्ध करते हैं. ओके, आप ऐसे इस विधि से प्रायश्चित से आप अपने आप को शुद्ध कर सकते हैं. ऐसे करके वो जो अपने दोष प्रकट करते हैं. But you know, it is different from that Christian. What is the term in Christian? Pritesh ji, there is a one procedure in Christian religion.
Confession, Saurabh ji.
What is the name? Confession.
Confession.
Confession. Okay, it is not confession. You know.
Baptism. Baptism.
English में कोई शब्द है नहीं.
That's what they call baptism, right?
No, sir, it's confession.
We cannot say exactly confession.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello. हाँ प्रीतेश जी, सुन सकते. इंग्लिश में कन्फेशन मुझे प्रॉपर वर्ड नहीं लगता. आई डोंट थिंक दैट दिस इज द प्रॉपर वर्ड. प्रायश्चित इज अ प्रॉपर वर्ड. प्रायश्चित इट मीन्स कि वो बताते हैं कि हमने ऐसा किया और उसमें कोई प्राइवेट बात नहीं
Kunjan,
बताते.
can you hear me?
Yes, Pritesh, we can hear you.
तो वो जो प्रायश्चित लेते हैं, तो अच्छा, आचार्य भी कोई ऐसे फालतू की बात तो नहीं सुनते किसी से. मतलब हर कोई आके उनको अपनी ऐसी बातें नहीं बता सकता. ही इज नॉट रेडी टू लिसन एवरीवन. कोई किंग हो, कोई मुनि हो, मेनली तो मुनि प्रायश्चित करते हैं. कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति हो जो रियली who has committed many wrong things, now he is willing to go on the path of salvation, उनको प्रायश्चित विधि से शुद्ध करते हैं. गृहस्थों में इसका है, बट मेनली प्रायश्चित विधि तो उनकी जो अप्लाई होती है, दैट इज अप्लाइड ऑन मंक्स ओनली. जो संघ में है ना, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आचार्य अकम्पन से प्रायश्चित लिया था शुद्ध सागर ने. तो क्या प्रायश्चित लिया था? आप ये कहें कि उन्होंने कहा था, ठीक है, यू हैव कमिटेड मिस्टेक, so where at the place where you argued with all four ministers, you must go there and stand there. If those mantris they just come in night to kill us, तो आप वहां बीच में मिले और आपको जो भी हो. ये एक उनको प्रायश्चित विधि से शुद्ध किया कि भाई आप वहां जाओ, और वो उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किया कि मेरा प्रायश्चित ये है कि मैं वहां जाके खड़ा हो जाऊं. ऐसे कई सारी चीजें रहती हैं जो प्रायश्चित विधि से शुद्ध की जाती हैं. इसमें आई वांट टू क्लैरिफाई, इट इज नॉट फॉर स्पेशली गृहस्थ. गृहस्थ कृपया अपना रोना लेके उनके पास ना जाएं कि अब मैंने तो अपनी ननद को गाली दी थी, मैंने तो अपने वो मैंने एक बार 10 रुपए चुराए थे. इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट लेवल. ओके. So and purifies by the process of expiation those who admit their faults. I bow to such an ecstatic chief monks, Acharya, who admonishes such kind of spiritual conduct. So that's for Acharya. That's for all for Acharya. If you are having any question, you can ask. So Kunjanji, today many people are absent in our class. Is there any specific reason?
Two things. There is a 4th of July weekend, so it's a long weekend. Another thing is there are a lot of other things going on. So like PTSD has, again, Jana here in US is doing the Jana seminar or the Samaisar, Shibir. Another thing is Vikas Jain ji is also doing his Shibir. So I think a lot of people are kind of, separated out into different things that they are attending.
Okay, there are many shivers nowadays. That's why.
Right. Now being online, it's become like everybody's got something or other thing to attend.
Okay, it's a very easy way to teach or easy way to
Right.
listen. Okay,
Right.
no problem. Even Kunjanji, I just saw a day when there is only one person. He may be Pritesh ji or Preet ji in this class before 3 years. Many Sundays we spend like this. That there is only one student, either Pritesh ji or Preet ji. Okay, so this is the characteristics
Yes,
of Acharya.
by next
Mhm.
should be normal, being summer vacation. So, Sarji, one question I had was here due to here it says the slight mild attachment. Is this attachment just between the acharyas and knowing the monks, that sometimes they have to kind of mediate, not mediate, I wouldn't say mediate, but they have to kind of make a decision for them. Is that the reason it will be called as a mild attachment? Or
माइल्ड अटैचमेंट इंग्लिश में समझते हैं ना, तो वो समझ में नहीं आता. मैं इसको बोलता हूँ, देयर इज स्पेसिफिक वर्ड, प्रशस्त राग. इट इज कॉल्ड प्रशस्त राग. Rag and prasast rag both are different things. Prasast rag, it means he is having attachment, but it is related to only the activities of monks. It is related to scriptures. It is related to speech. It is related to vitakta. This is called mild attachment and prasast rag. But he is not having attachment of कि कोई मुनि जैसे उनसे दूर जा रहे हैं आचार्य, तो वो दुखी हो, वो रोए, नो वहां से मत जाओ, या कोई मुनि को वो कहीं भेजें, now you must go in that संघ, तो वो attachment, this is not that kind of attachment. Mild attachment, it means he is having prasast rag. So attachment regarding writing shastras, attachment regarding prashchit, diksha, speech, this is attachment here.
Okay, Saurabh. Saurabh, and one more question now when you said this came up is like we start like us as a common people and who can go into Ashubh and Shubh Rag, we do have like little bit of liking for particular granth. Kind of you kind of call it, I would call it myself as an attachment, saying, hey, I like this granth. Again, it's related to religious granth, but would Munis also prefer or sometimes have that kind of feeling? Or Shubhra?
Okay, so we cannot say like that kind of attachment which we are having. We are having that I like this country most, I like this thing most, I like this brand of mobile, this place. So if any Muni is just giving you a specific reference of any granth, it means he is willing to tell you the special things of that granth. He is not as attached as we have attached with our home, with our body. Of course, we can see that there is some attachment. You must read only Samaysar. So Samaysar, it means if you want to realize yourself, you must study Samaysar. This is only the reason that sometime we can find that any Muni is just quoting just a specific granth by naming, like Acharya Kunkun Granth, Acharya Amratchand Granth. So what attachment we are having and what attachment having Muni is different. It is not all the same. Okay, so that's all for today class. We have completed today characteristics of Acharya. After class, even you can study by yourself and can know more and more about Acharya Upadhyay and Sadhu. Okay, Ranuji.
Yes,
Srivastava
sir.
sir.
I looked up the word. The Christian word is confession. That's what I was saying. And the word for prayashchit would be repentance.
Okay, repentance.
I looked up in the dictionary.
Okay. Repentant. Okay, we can say that prashchit is repentant, right?
Yeah.
लेकिन वो प्रायश्चित जो हमें हिंदी में समझ में आता है ना, तो वो इंग्लिश में ठीक है, repentant भी ठीक है, वैसे प्रायश्चित ही बोलते हैं उसको, right?
Sorry, मैं वो सुन नहीं पा रहा था, मैं थोड़ा कुछ I could not hear clearly, so somehow my voice completely went away. So I had to.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Repentant is a word. You also told Pritesh ji this word?
रिपेंटेंस
नहीं,
में एक चीज होता है कि कुछ रॉन्ग करके फिर रिपेंटेंस करते रहो, ऐसा भी मानते हैं लोग. Again, इसलिए that's
Prashchit is a proper word, so we can say that prashchit. Now it is time to close our class, and we have discussed today about Acharya. If you have any question, you can ask next time, or you can just put question on WhatsApp. Jinmani Stuti. निज निधि निज में
बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, जिसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शतबार है, वंदना शतबार है, वंदना शतबार है.
जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को.
जय जिनेन्द्र.
जय जय सरोज जी.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Jai Jirendra, thank you.